She returned home after 9 months living a hell.
I never wanted to end my prayers because I didn't want God to leave me.
Until she escaped from her captor. No one knew what had happened to her. But incredibly, she lived to tell her story, and the raw account of her time in captivity still manages to give goosebumps to anyone who hears it.
I went along with whatever he wanted to do.
Even though life became a lot harder after that I still forgive you.
Abby Hernandez was returning home from school when a stranger offered her a ride, and she innocently accepted. But after a few minutes, everything changed for the worse.
He said, if you try to scream or try to escape or make any effort to escape, there will be consequences.
The man handcuffed her and took her to the middle of the woods. Abby was not seen again, and her family feared the worst.
My thinking was, okay, what if she had an injury, broke her leg, appendicitis, who knows, like got hit by a car. I called the hospital at that time. I said, no, they have not seen her.
But in the midst of terror and uncertainty, totally unable to escape from there, Abby knew what to do.
I remember thinking to myself, okay, I gotta work with this guy. I said, I don't judge you for this. If you let me go, I won't tell anybody about this. I said, you actually seem really smart.
You're trying to stroke his ego.
Exactly.
But Abby wasn't able to stop the man's insanity, who locked her in a container, totally isolated from the world, to experience the worst nightmare.
I did not want to die. And I remember praying to God, and I remember I never said, like amen in my mind. I never wanted to end my prayers because I didn't want God to leave me.
For the next 9 months, Abby lived the unimaginable. Her life turned into a hell. But little by little, Abby began to achieve something incredible. She earned the trust of her captor.
Part of how I gained his trust, I guess, was, I went along with whatever he wanted to do.
She obeyed the man in everything, never made him angry, and even helped him with domestic tasks. Until her captor gave in. Terrified that the police would find Abby's whereabouts, he simply let her go.
There were no cars coming either way. He said, get out.
Just like that?
Just like that. That was it. I remember looking up and laughing, just being so happy. I never thought it would happen to me, but I'm free. And I just walked home.
Abby was free. On an abandoned road not far from home. And as if time had stopped behind her, she entered home once again.
I remember when I came up to my doorstep, I could hear my mom talking on the phone. I could hear her voice. I opened the door and I said, Mom? And I remember she said, Abby? And then I remember she ran out and she said, Abby! And then she ran to me and we just hugged each other for like the longest time. And I felt so happy.
Abby's 9-month hell was over. But the nightmare wasn't going to end yet. Abby testified against her captor, and within weeks, Nathaniel Kibby was arrested as the culprit. Though by this point, Abby just wanted to forget those months of terror she had experienced. With great courage, she appeared in court to face the shameless man who almost ruined her life. And on his sentencing day, Abby had no more fear. She tossed at the stand to speak directly to him, and her words surprised everyone in the room.
Some people might call you a monster, but I've always looked at you as human. And I want you to know that even though life became a lot harder after that I still forgive you.
Even after everything she went through, Abby had the courage to forgive Nathaniel Kibby. The young woman wasn't going to let the trauma ruin her life. She wanted to move forward and leave behind the memory. He had put himself in this position, and now he would have to pay.
And I want you to know that I did not do this to you. I did not put you in prison. You put yourself in prison. I want you to know that I appreciate my freedom because of you, and that I enjoy and appreciate life because of you, and that I never look at sunshine in the same way.
Nathaniel Kibby was sentenced to 45 to 90 years behind the bars. A little piece in the life of Abby and her family. The young woman knows very well that her life almost slipped A-ways, and today she is willing to enjoy it to the fullest, making most of everything she didn't have. And that was taken from her for those long 9 months, to continue with her life